Hello there everybody, this is Krista and welcome back to the Krista Chronicles. Today we're taking a look at the Woodland Fairy Tale Tarot, which I do believe is out now, question mark. Pretty positive. Will she ever check before pressing record? Never. Let's look! Okay, yes, it is out now. Excellent. This is, where am I? Now I'm losing my train of thought. Okay, the Woodland Fairy Tale Tarot by Cecilia Latari and illustrated by Julia Veretto. This is a new deck out from US Games, and as it suggests, we're getting some fairy tales in here, but not just fairy tales. We get into the magic, folklore, wait, hold on. We get into magic, folklore, and plants. So there's a plant element here. I'm so excited. I have already gotten into this a little bit because I started filming a walkthrough maybe like 2 weeks or so ago, and I did the thing where, I mean, usually these are always my first impressions, and so it's not necessarily that I'm getting into the guidebook. However, I was going through the cards and it became so apparent that like I needed info from the guidebook, and so I felt like I needed to really start over. You know what I mean? So I gave it a little bit of time. I'm so excited about it though. It still was exciting, but where the plant elements came in, I felt like I wanted information from the get-go, if that makes sense. So we'll even see if I really remember, because it's been long enough for my brain to forget, but I do have some of my roses here today. Aren't they so pretty? So they'll be joining us on the side here, because I love them so much. New special interest alert. Not that it's really new, but it's kicked it up into high gear. That's what I'll say. Okay, as I immediately go to put the book to the side, hold on, let's explain things. So we get this larger sized clamshell box. How cool is that though? I love the idea of unlocking a box. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on, I'm gonna pause. Okay. I didn't want to make you listen to my sneeze when I knew I had time. I'm all over the place because I need to remember that just because I've sort of looked at this, I haven't explained anything. So let's get into it the proper way. Tarot cards and fairy tales have sparked the collective imagination for centuries. Through the magic of storytelling, both help us delve into ourselves to search for the deepest meaning. Fairy tales tell of legends and lore, ancient knowledge, and universal teachings. Tarot cards, on the other hand, provide fragments of stories to be pieced together. Each card is a narrative element of a story in which the plot continually changes according to who is consulting it and what the circumstances are at the time. Woodland Fairy Tale Tarot presents images and messages from the enchanted fields and forests, where we are invited to explore plant magic for insight, healing, and spiritual growth. Let the fairy tales guide you to the place where the portals to the heart and the imagination are wide open. Includes 78 cards and a 128-page illustrated guidebook. So cool. Okay, I'm so excited. Because we do have, fairy tale decks on the market. You know what I mean? So when I first saw this coming out, I was kind of like, okay, I'm liking the, woodland word add in there. That intrigues me, but, I feel like I have some fairy tale decks. I've got the Forest of Enchantment, which is a absolute top deck for me. So I was like, well, what's this gonna be different? What's gonna add? And I love that we get the plant element in here. I just feel like, I think it's really cool to see when there are decks that take a theme that is, at least we have things that are in that topic, or it's a popular one, but then adds in an extra element that makes it different. I think that's so cool. So, I've got this magnetic, would you call that clamshell? It's one of these that opens that way. Oh, sorry, flower. Okay, and here's our book. I don't know that we get spreads in here, but we get a pretty full page for every card, as you can see. Ooh. Oh, deck preparation. Oh, cool. It goes into like your birth card and birth year. That's neat. Oh, we do get some spreads. Cool. All right. So we're going to read some of the beginning pages in there in just a second. But as you can see, this is one of those where you get a tuck box within the box, which I feel indifferent about. I think this box is so beautiful, and I think it's cool. Like, if somebody was one to display in these big boxes, I mean, how beautiful would that look on a shelf? And I do like these tuck boxes. This feels similar to me to the Running Press decks. They usually seem to come in that kind of bigger box. Inside you get the tuck box, but it's like this, it's a nice high quality tuck box, and that's how this feels to me. So let's carefully get her open. The only thing is that sometimes they're kind of hard to open. So I don't know. I'll probably keep it in this box for now for sure, but we'll see. Now hopefully in my various showings of this I didn't get it out of order, but we'll see. Here are the backs. It is a glossy cardstock, which I feel like is different for US games, but I don't dislike it. I am looking for a standard size tarot. Question mark, where are you? Ah, okay. I've got here the Sacred Rose Tarot. This is a standard size, so let's see, because I do think it's a bit larger than standard size. Yes, it's a bit taller and wider. So it's a larger size tarot. It's definitely not standard, but it's not huge. Okay. And so it's, again, it's a glossy cardstock, so it's a bit thicker as those go. I'm trying to think if I can think of anything that's somewhat similar. I almost want to say it's a bit similar to the Low Scarabeo decks that come in those vertical two-piece boxes, but a bit not as stiff. That's kind of the comparison I think I could make. All right, so we definitely got to zoom in here. But then we should get into this book. So maybe let's flip her back over so we don't have to just stare at the Fool for super long. Because I want to get into the whole plant element before we begin here. Oh, excuse me. Because the cool thing too is that, so in the majors, we get, each card is a different fairy tale and also incorporates a different plant. And then we do still see that in the minors, but what I think is really cool is that in the minors, each suit follows one storyline and uses one plant mainly, which I think is, again, like I said, really cool. So in this deck, each card of the major arcana corresponds to a fairy tale and a magic plant. The connections are never random, but follow magical and symbolic flows of meaning expressed by each card's description, with insight into the interconnected worlds of fairy tales and plants. And then the minor arcana, each suit also corresponds to the telling of a specific fairy tale as well as a plant. So, you know what? I won't ruin the surprise. As we go through, I will go over what each minor suit has going on. But we'll also look at the stories and the plants for the majors, because I just think this is going to be a really fun summer deck. add a little bookmark for me though. Okay, perfect. All right, so the Fool, as you can see, we've got Jack and the Beanstalk. So that's the story, and the plant is the bean. My bean plants are doing so well. I definitely planted way too many. I had seeds left over from last year, and usually, like, with seeds, I feel like you can probably keep them longer than 2 years, but that's sort of just the cycle I go on. And so I was using up the rest, and now I'm like, oh, that's a lot of bean plants. The Magician is Aladdin with vines and grapes. I love this artwork. It's really bright. I don't really know how else to explain that, other than that's just the feeling it gives me. It's got this really cool brightness that feels a little bit like certain cartoons I really like. For some reason, it makes me think of, oh gosh, I can never remember the name of this show. It's so crazy because I replaced it with the name of the tarot deck I have, which is the Mystery Tarot. Will she ever remember that? No. What the heck? I have to know. It's the Mystery Tarot, which is based Gravity Falls. Jeez Louise. Okay. It's reminding me of Gravity Falls. Let's continue. The High Priestess, we have the old woman in the woods with mugwort. Oh yeah, you can see it in her basket there. So cool. The fun thing too is that I'm not really familiar with some of these fairy tales, so it's going to be exciting to learn more about them. The Empress, the story is the elder bush with elderberry. Yeah, like, I don't know that. It's a Hans Christian Andersen tale. So cool. I want elderberry bushes so bad. That's a goal of mine for next year. We got real rose focus this year, which no regrets. I'm having so much fun, and I have plans for more, but I do want an elderberry bush. The Emperor is the Emperor's new clothes, of course, with fern. Ooh, neat. I love this card. The Hierophant is Alice in Wonderland. I love thinking of Alice as the Hierophant. And our plant is the Amanita muscaria, which is these classic fairy tale mushrooms. The Lovers is a story called White as Milk, Red as Blood, with pomegranate. Ooh, I love that. I love this card. Oh, Puss in Boots for the Chariot. I love that with wheat. Such a good card. Strength, we have Princess and the Pea, and our plant is the pea. Love that. Such a cool, I love too how we get the pea plant in the fabric. It's so neat. But I just love the idea of this story as strength, because yeah, to go through that and not absolutely lose your whole mind, I would have lost my mind night one. The Hermit, we've got the Shining Fish with sage. Beautiful. I love sage plants. The Wheel of Fortune is the Poor Man and the Rich Man with clover. So cool how they incorporated that. Justice is the Wild Swans with nettle. Love nettle. I need to get like a Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale book. I think that'd be fun because I don't know that I've really read them. I don't think so. Okay. The Hanged Man, we have Sleeping Beauty with bramble. That makes a lot of sense to me. Death is the wolf woman with comfrey. Temperance is a story called Sweet Porridge with the Tea Plant. Ooh, I also want a tea bush. The New Jersey tea bush is native to my area, and I want to get one. Look at that. The devil is the red shoes with belladonna. So cool. Yeah, look at those black berries. I get this that just pops up in my yard. Which does make me feel like Stevie Nicks, because what a great album that is. I love it so much. That's what made me name my cat Stevie. There's my fun fact. Okay, the tower is Snow White with the apple. Look at that. Is that, I don't remember. That's gotta be. See, this is the thing. I need to read these original ones because I'm like, well, Snow White didn't get pushed out of a tower. But apparently she did. Cool. I like how the apple's glowing there. That's so cool. The star is Cinderella. I love that. With Star of Bethlehem, which I think is also called Glory of the Snow or something. Because I had this little blue flower that looks similar to that pop up. Just one of them. And of course I had to go to the In the Garden of the Goddess membership Discord from Thea's channel and be like, what is this? I've never seen it before. And Thea said it was Glory of the Snow. But I wonder if they're the same. We're gonna look it up right now. Oh no. I don't think so. Yep, they're different. Very different. They just look similar in that art. Okay, anyways, moving on. The moon is Rapunzel. How beautiful is that? With Rampion Bellflower. Which I think I have this plant. I don't know. I've seen people with bellflowers that grow really tall. Mine don't seem to. Oh, no, because I've got balloon flowers. That's... never mind. I'd like that, though. Look at that. The sun is Rumpelstiltskin. Perfect. With Helichrysum. Helichrysum. What is that? I need to look that up and see if there's like a different name for it. Oh, straw flower. Yes. Oh, no, it's not. Everlasting. No, yes. Question mark? Straw flower is a type of this flower. It's like everlasting flower. So cool. I love that. Judgment, we've got the Pied Piper of Hamelin with mint. I love mint. I kind of want... I know, I feel like this is like an insane thing to say in the gardening realm, but I kind of want a patch of mint. And I understand, I know, I know it's gonna, it spreads. I know that. But like, I'm just thinking of like, if I placed it in a certain way, how good would that smell? And then to let it flower, oh, because I've got an oregano patch, which also spreads, and it's manageable. I don't know, I'm just saying, I think it could be fun. All right, in the world we have, oh, the Wizard of Oz, cool, with Lotus. Again, I love the inclusion on the fabric. I really like the ways that the plant is appearing in here. Let's see, where did mint? Yes, also on the fabric. So cool. All right, so now we get into the Swords suit, which is all right, swords relate to air and the mind. Here we find communication strategy and the ability to plan. we've got Sleeping Beauty as the story, and the plant is the bramble and the rose. So the only thing I will say, the only thing that felt like, I don't know if even disappointment's the right word. But the other suits give us a story that we don't get in the majors, and this one, we see her in the Hanged Man, and so it's the kind of thing where it's like, I guess, and again, I think this is just a personal thing, that if there was going to be repetition, I feel like I would have rather seen the minors pull on a like very intentional, each pull on an intentional major, which I think the swords paired with the Hanged Man is really cool. And so when this came up first, when I did this the first time, I was like, oh, awesome, like that's so neat. But that doesn't repeat itself. You know, the rest are stories we don't see. So, but is that really, does that matter? No, it doesn't. I just thought it'd be cool. So, okay. Let's see though, okay. In the fairy tale, Rosamund pricks herself on a spindle and falls into a deep sleep, protected by brambles. Only through this painful transition can she be truly reborn. In addition to the bramble, the plant representing this fairy tale is the rose, whose thorns recall needles and whose sweet Venusian fragrance is a hymn to love. So cool. So I like how in the Ace we get that beginning moment. The two, it's that moment when, before she gets tricked, which is really neat, because it's sort of like, it's this moment of apprehension, of weighing her options of, ooh, do I do what this woman is asking, or no? Three of Swords. I don't know what's happening there. Let's go to that suit and see if it tells us. Oh, neat. Okay, so we get kind of a tarot interpretation up here, but at the bottom here you get these like main points as it relates to also what's going on here. So we have, sometimes we cannot escape pain, so we must face it. The king burns all the spindles in the kingdom, yet he cannot change his daughter's fate. That is so cool. I love that so much. The Four of Swords. Everything sleeps, everything is still. It's time to rest and be quiet. Make space to dream. Okay, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with this. I mean, not to say, these are really good, but if you're someone who is pretty familiar with tarot, I feel like this is kind of worth a read through, but then I feel like this is what really brings that, like, here's why I'm using this deck specifically. You know what I mean? Oh, we're gonna look at those from now on. Five of Swords. The 13th fairy curses Rosamund and thus fulfills her destiny, but at what price? Always ask yourself if it's worth it. Cool. Six of Swords. The prince ventures across the forest of brambles. From now on, his life will never be the same. Trust in the journey. I love how we get the roses and the rose petals here. Seven of Swords. Something is hidden, yet its silence doesn't mean that it lacks magic. Oh. Interesting. Almost like, don't assume because it's hard to get there that it's not worth it. Interesting. Interesting for the Seven of Swords. Eight of Swords. It's time to wake up, Rosamund. You're the one making the spell. You're the real magic. I forgot that element of the story, that the thorns and brambles are coming from her. She's keeping herself trapped. Ooh, that's so cool. 9. Although the enchanted sleep seemed endless, 100 years have passed for Rosamund. The morning always comes. That's beautiful. 10. You've had many adventures. This one has come to an end. Practice the art of detachment and embrace new horizons. That's super cool. Okay. The page. A crab brings the news of Rosamund's birth. There's magic in the air now as then. The knight. The prince does not allow himself to be frightened, not by spells or brambles. Maintain your focus by staying inspired. Cool. The queen. Rosamund goes through an initiation that leaves her feeling powerful, free, and mature. Ground yourself in her strength. So cool. What a cool way to look at the Queen of Swords. And the king. Rosamund's father, the king, tries to save his beloved daughter, but he knows to step aside in the face of magic. Neat. What is that plant there, though? That's interesting. Huh. That looks like just a different plant. Anyways. The wands suit. So for the wands, we've got Hansel and Gretel with calendula. So excited about that. I have calendula growing. Hopefully we'll see flowers someday if the groundhogs would just chill out. But I don't know. Hopefully we'll see. Okay. Had to fix my camera. But we're back. Alright. So we've got Hansel and Gretel and calendula. So let's see what it says about that. The fairy tale chosen is Hansel and Gretel by the Brothers Grimm, which as a story of transformation, willfulness, and responsiveness is the one most closely aligned with wands. The plant representing this suit is calendula, a plant of fire that symbolizes the hearth and the protection of small children, who are encountered in the fairy tale. So cool. Alright. So the ace. You're at the beginning of your adventure, and you see a light in the woods. Follow it. This is the time to be daring. It's cool to add in the layer, too, of, if you know the story. Because that idea of begin the adventure takes a different lean if you think about how it went. Alright, Two of Wands. When you reach the crossroads, follow your intuition. Listen to your inner rhythm and choose what is right for you. Three. You will experience many grueling adventures, but a happy ending awaits you. Trust in your vision. But doesn't the dad, send them away? I feel like Hansel and Gretel is kind of dark. I think it's cool because you can look at it in either way depending on how you want to do that. 4. It's time for you to celebrate. After many adventures, freely celebrate your success like the children in the forest. Ooh, there's the house. So cool. 5. To enter or not to enter the witch's house. Desire pushes you in one direction, while caution pushes you in the other. Without risk, there can be no adventure. Fascinating. 6. Hansel makes the right move and is about to break free. Stay focused and respond quickly. I feel like, I don't know, again, I say this a lot, literally knowing nothing. But I almost wonder if this is taking more of a numerological lean. Oh, look at that! 7. Gretel fearlessly shoves the witch into the oven. Be inspired by her powerful and subversive act. Love that. So good for the 7. 8. Drop some pebbles along the way. They will become signals to anyone with a keen eye. 9. It's not always time to act. A break is required to revive your energy. The forest will cradle you. So cool. And 10, finally at home, following a long adventure, you can rest and let someone else take care of you. That's beautiful. The Page. Be bold and follow your inspiration fearlessly, like Hansel at the start of the forest. Knight. Courage comes from the strength of your heart. Draw from this source like Gretel and her rebellious energy. The Queen. This card brings a pinch of magic to brighten your day. The witch is someone who has great power in her hands and knows how to use it. I love the idea that the witch from Hansel and Gretel is the Queen of Wands. Just because usually there's that kind of like social butterfly element in there. And I mean, you can't say she didn't know how to charm. She clearly did. Was it for good? No. But she did know how to. Alright, the King. Hansel and Gretel's father makes a difficult decision, but he'll be able to change his mind and welcome his children back. He asserts power even in adversity. Interesting. Okay, now we've got the Cups, which follows the story of the goose girl at the well, and we have the lotus flower. Love is the central theme in the story of the Goose Girl at the Well, a fairy tale that deals with transformation, rebirth, mystery, and the depth of the human soul. The related plant is the lotus flower, a symbol of spirituality and openness to other worlds more subtle than the visible one. Cool. Alright. Every emotion is authentic. The princess's tears, the pearls, shine like stars on the water. Two, like the princess, you've found someone who listens to you. Enjoy this intimate time of sharing. Oh, I love that. I just love the image, because I'm not familiar with this story, I should say that. But I love the idea that we have the princess here with this older woman, instead of, you know, necessarily a romantic relationship. I think that's cool. 3, your chosen family may not necessarily be your blood family. Emotional connections lead you to those you love. Spend time with them. Ah, that's so good. Oh, I love that. Ooh, a little bit in the top part is talking about kindred spirits. Oh, that's so cool. 4, as soon as the Count turns around, he encounters the old woman and his life changes. Be open to new opportunities. Oh, I love that. The idea that once he turns around, he can see the sunbeams and the older woman who's going to help him. 5, to the princess, everything may seem lost, but some of the cups in the lake still shine. Nurture what's left. Beautiful. Okay, this might be my favorite suit so far. I am loving this. 6, remember your roots. This is one of those moments when you can nurture your inner child. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful card. Okay, 7. The geese have supported the princess through her darkest times. Are they still simple geese, or are they rescuing spirits? It depends on how you decide to look at the world. Ooh. So cool. 8. For the king, the queen, and the count, it's time to go. Leaving something familiar to run off and discover the mysteries calling you is the right thing to do. 9. Things have finally come together. Relish this moment because what you wished for is really happening. Beautiful. 10. You have reached the end of this journey and you are home. Enjoy the gifts that other people are bestowing upon you. The Page. The princess is closely related to water and emotionality. You too should listen to and welcome your deep intuition. Knight. The young count begins his adventure guided solely by his heart, his most important strength. If you follow his lead, new and unpredictable paths may become open to you. The Queen. The old woman in the story is a powerful and kind witch who knows how to listen and heal. Trust her and seek her within yourself. Oh, that's a beautiful way to put that. Okay, and King. The king knows how to deal with his emotions and doesn't get caught up in them. Let him inspire you. I loved that suit. I'm going to have to read that story. That got me feeling excited. Okay, last but not least, we have the Pentacles, which is the story of Little Thumb, and we have the pomegranate flower as our plant. The tale of Little Thumb is an earth story, starting with the pebbles he uses to mark his way home and leading up to when he reaches the ogre, a Chthonian creature par excellence. The plant that relates to this fairy tale is the pomegranate flower, a magical plant, and thanks to its shiny seeds, the fruit of abundance. I don't know that I'm familiar with this story either, honestly. Okay, Ace. Pebble after pebble, Little Thumb patiently establishes the path home. Give yourself time to look after your project. Perfect. 2. Being capable of managing multiple roles is important. Learn about equilibrium, the harmonious balancing of forces. Oh, look at that. We've got the sun and the moon. Cool. I love how that's drawn to include the pentacle. That's neat. 3. Intent, ideas, and people are stronger together. You'll find your own way by working with whoever's searching alongside you. 4. Sometimes it's important to stick to your boundaries. Other times you need to give in. Selfishness isn't always negative if it's about self-care. Ooh, what a sentence that is. Oh my gosh. 5. There are difficult decisions to be faced. Sometimes you must enter the forest at night to lose yourself and be found. Oh wow. 6. Experience selflessness. Like Little Thumb's crumbs, it too can be a guide that indicates the path to new adventures. 7. Figure out which lights are visible from your path. Take the time to figure out which one you want to follow and how. I love that. 8. With care and attention, a small move may very well save your life. Remember to look closely and put your resources to good use. Oh, I like that idea of the Eight of Pentacles, of paying attention to your work. Interesting. 9. Being independent is one of the greatest forms of freedom. Aspire to independence like Little Thumb, who fights for the well-being of his family, and you'll be rewarded for what you have sown. 10. Wealth lies in the everyday, in its magic, in what you have, and for which you can practice gratitude. For Little Thumb, it's a feast and the joy of his brothers. Oh, that's so beautiful. I love that. All right, our page. Step by step, Little Thumb learns to get by using his intuition and practicality. He may be small, but he is powerful. Knight. The little bird that eats the breadcrumbs drives Little Thumb's adventure. It belongs to nature, and that's what you need to listen to right now. Queen. The ogress feeds the children and tries to protect them. She's Mother Nature. Learn to respect her. So good. And the king. The ogre, like Little Thumb, is a character who inhabits the periphery. Trust his magic. So beautiful. Okay, oh my gosh, I am so glad, again, that I restarted this. to really get into the book because, wow, this is definitely, I mean, I love my guidebooks, that's no secret, but definitely a guidebook kind of deck for me, because that just totally changed the game. I'm so excited about this deck. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to think about pairings. This could be so fun. If you have any ideas about what this might pair well with, let me know. And also just let me know what you think. What are your thoughts? Do you have this one yet? I think it's been out for maybe a bit now. Is it one you're interested in? I'd love to know. But other than that, that's all I have for you today. So, I hope you're having a wonderful day so far, and I'll see you again very soon.